I can confirm today that it was BJ Thompson who had the medical emergency yesterday. We had started a special teams meeting. He had a seizure during the meeting, and then eventually went into cardiac arrest. Just as a side note here, the NFL mandates that we do these emergency action plans for every team in the league, home, away, in your practice facilities. And then we're mandated to practice multiple times a year. Ironically, we practiced on Monday with a group called Walters Incorporated, who comes in and educates us and goes through scenarios like we went through yesterday. With BJ, when he had this seizure, Butker immediately ran towards the training room and grabbed Julie Freimeyer and David Glover, and then grabbed me. We went into the room. Eventually, Tiffany Morton and Evan Kraft came in, as well as with this facility, we have a doctor's office down the hall, and Dr. J.P. Darsh from Kansas University Health System was there. He came up and assisted, and as a team, we tried to stabilize BJ and then put him on the floor while he was still seizing, and then he went into cardiac arrest. So our team of that group of people provided CPR for him. He had one AED shock and came back, so he was only in cardiac arrest for probably less than a minute and a half. Our players, our security staff, everybody involved, coaches, staff, they were phenomenal in handling the crisis. We then turned him over to KC Fire Department and the paramedics. Those paramedics do those practice sessions with us, so there was some familiarity there with those guys. And then he was taken to KU Hospital, where he was heavily sedated yesterday through the night, and then he brought him out of the sedation this morning. He was on a ventilator overnight just so he could breathe because he was so heavily sedated. That's all out. He's alert. He's awake. He's coming through quite well. We don't have a diagnosis, and in medicine sometimes you don't have that. And then, like I said, he's awake and alert, and he's headed in the absolute right direction. So all things good in a little bit of a hairy situation. But I thank you for your attention.